Hello everyone, I'm Ladas and I'll be here Kuroinu 2 Redux for PC. The game came out from Monday to Tuesday, at 1, 2 a.m. The typical hour that Shirofun releases their games. This the I don't know if it's continuation or if it's a sequel of the first one that I played to, Kuroinu Redux. Of course, it's Redux because it's like a remake or something like that, or remaster of an existing game, right? And the second one, the first one came out, if I'm not mistaken, in the beginning of this year. So the second one still came out on the same year, which means it sell well, right? Because if not, they wouldn't. The game is developed by Liquid and published by Shirofun. And let us start. Of course, there is voice, but I took out the voice like that. I can be fast. It is all burning. The plumes of black smoke continue to cloud out the night sky. Red embers are dancing amongst the flames. This is the border town known as Cairn. It is known for its production of red wine and has been used as an important point for trade for a long time. Because of that, the marketplace is always tremendously busy. The voice of neighboring farmers who have come to sell vegetables mix with the merchants from various countries, extolling the virtues of their wares. Their combined voice fills the air of the marketplace, clearly displaying the bustling nature of the city. A large number of adults and children come and go, searching through the products on display. Sometimes cheers erupt as thought somebody has found a treasure. The town is ruled over by a good lord and is filled with liveliness. That town is now consumed in the flames of war. Please, won't somebody help me? All I have is my life. Go! It's burning! It's all burning! My home! All of the buildings are destroyed and on fire. The lives of the people have mercilessly been destroyed. They are rough like bandits, but in reality they are an army led by one man. That man, the leader of this army, is both cold and ferocious with a robust physique. Their fate was silent. The east of the guards employed by their ruler were pulverized, but the men who love this town still haven't given in. For our city! The city guards that were trained in combat have almost been cut down or have run away. Meanwhile, a group of regular citizens forms, taking weapons in hand, they attacked soldiers. Commander, there are a huge number of them. No matter how much of them gather together, they are nothing but untrained amateurs. The large man referred as commander by his subordinates looks upon the situation with no sense of panic. The footing of his foes is not aligned. There is a slight distance between each member. In other words, they are nothing more than a good target. He prompted as his archer only to take position and fire on the newly formed militia. Fire! Gah! The militia is unequipped for ranged combat. They are unable to approach and just follow one after another. The militia stopped in their tracks. The soldiers cut them down in one stroke. Die, stupid old man. Shit. Oh! Hey, what the fuck was that formation? Ah! The militia is defeated in an instant. All is taken, burned, and destroyed in this storm of violence. Nothing can be done. Run! The last of their resistance is gone. The citizens finally abandon their town and begin to run away. The fires of plunder spread across the entire town. Huh. Is that all? All that remains is... So it's not Vault anymore, so it's this dude. So is this like some years after that, the first one? Because where is the dude from the first one, right? This where it is. Hey, walk quickly. Enough already. Mom! You scoundrels, did I not tell you to refrain from touching us so carelessly? Amidst the dancing embers, two girls are dragged along with an eye-catching, high-class look to them. The two of them are covered in soot and mud, but their beauty just stands out all the more. One of them has the clear body of an adult, but there is still some shred of innocence inside of the shrieking girl. Unlike her daughter, she walks with her face heel high while surrounded by these ruffians. The man leading them is clad in different armor from the other soldiers and has the head of a wolf. Lord, I brought them. They are the wife and daughter of the ruler of this place. Good work. The wolfman makes his report in a more frank manner than the other subordinates. The commander nods his head lightly and turns his cold gaze to the mother and daughter. That glance alone makes the mother's heart finally fall into despair. The daughter's shoulders are trembling in an exaggerated fashion. She even attempts to hide behind her mother's back. But that rosts her heart. She scolds her terrified heart with the notion that she must protect her daughter. The mother breathes in deeply and protects her daughter behind her back. She looks up at the large man in front of her. You are the commander of these goons, right? We demand to be treated as prisoners. My husband will surely pay. Your husband? Him? He slinks his head slightly. When one of the soldiers with a regular, really vulgar smile nods, he throws something at the mother and daughter. When she sees what was rolled to her feet, the mother gasps, dropped off breath. Her daughter lets out a powerful shriek. Her face is wrapped with fear. Her eyes stare vacantly into the sky. She will never smile again, as she adds. Probably it was the head of the husband. It appears that he is done examining them. He gestures to his subordinates. So basically this is like in a different place or different years. Yeah, who the fuck is that? I've made the preparations. The girl's face is clearly younger when compared to the man's other subordinate. She also has a magnificent body. Her armor and sword seem lightweight, suiting her nimble body. On the other hand, there is no uselessness in her movements, and there is no gap in the way she stands quietly by the man's side. What's happening with those of the Holy Kingdom? There are reports that they've sent armies because they noticed smoke from the town. They will arrive shortly. Alright, they've come all this way. We need to leave them some souvenir. He strokes his chin and smiles. The girl also nods slightly in agreement. Her brown skin is illuminated by the fire. Her pointed ears peek out from beneath her hair. Anybody could tell from looking at her that she is a dark elf. But they will be wrong. Rather than a pure-blooded dark elf, her ears are not pointed and her skin color is little lighter. She's only half dark elf. Okay. How was the harvest? So. In response to her question, he strokes his chin. A different carriage is filled with money and other treasures from the merchants and lord of the land, causing it to creak. It is ample profit from the destruction of a single town. Master, we should pull out soon. My ass is going to catch on fire at this rate. Lucaon, you should at least call him commander while you are working. Ha, don't get mad, I always say that, don't I? I call him master because he was my master before he was ever my commander. You can call me master too. I'm sure you'll like that sweetness more than the stiffness of the commander, don't you agree, Luca? The girl named Luca stares daggers at him. For a moment, she looks to be reaching for the two real daggers sheathed at her hips. However, gah! Rather than at Luca directs her blade at some rubble nearby and throws it. From the shadow cast by the rubble, a man tumbles out, the blade lodged in his throat. He grabs at his throat and writhes, dropping his sword. He appears to have been looking for his opportunity to take revenge. Luca snorts and turns back toward Commander. Commander, I must also urge that we leave. Luca, we can speak after we return home. Just be kind to me. Luca gives Lucaon a cold stare. Lucaon smiles. His claws were sharp as knives, but now they return to their original form. If not for Luca's throwing knives, Lucaon's claws would have torn through him. The wolves are proudest of their amazing combat prowess among several different kinds of beastmen. Without using yappers, they use their claws, fangs, and muscles to fell their foes. The man that the two of them serve looks around the burning village, and he nods in satisfaction. Okay. Jesus, what the fuck is that, dude? Alright, then you guys head out. The soldiers yell a cry of victory at this order. Cairn for a long time was an important center of trade, but it is now turned to ash. So they destroyed that city. Okay. A short while later. I have a report Cairn has nearly been completely burned down. There appear to be no survivors. I see. An order of knights is gathered on the main street of Cairn. A knight in the prime of his life takes a knee and gives his report to the young female knight. On their chest sits the insignia for the old empire of Aurelia. The only empire of Aurelia is the largest nation on the continent of Serenus. It is located to the south of the continent. There are three different countries between Aurelia and Cairn. It is a fire giant. The Order of Knights is looking to Cairn directly after it burned down. They came across this tragedy while they are on their way back to Aurelia. They are in this nation because they had to come to discuss with the king of this nation for some reason. A large number of carriers left this town. I can't imagine that this town was just ransacked by bandits. Moreover, what? The signal of a night order was ostentatiously displayed on the burnt ruins. It's too dangerous for bandits to do something like this. The Black Dog mercenaries, the nation. So basically, it's still the same mercenaries, the Black Dog, right? The first one was the Black Dogs too, but this time it's with a different character in front of it. Probably it was passed down. Could be the son of Volt. I don't know. The female knight, the mother is unable to hide her regret. The burning stench still hangs strong in the air even now. Just how many innocent lives have been lost. She wonders if they could have prevented this tragedy if they just arrived sooner. That thought sits heavy in the female knight's heart. Lady Irish. Sorry, it's okay. A knight calls out to her in concern, but she smiles and responds to put him at ease. And Iris once again looks over the burned down village. A faint smoke still wafts into the air above Cairn even now. Iris naturally frowns. She can't let such a tragedy happen again. She must make sure this is the final time this happens no matter what. I will make them pay for all the evil they have done up until now. Iris stares up at the northern skies. Serenos northern portion, its male portion, the Negramstian Empire. But this nation is hardly ever called that name, meaning Black Beast. About 150 years ago, the nation was founded by the mercenary king Volt. There we go. 150 years ago? He had a singular objective. Okay, so there you go, that Dark Elf. The history of the dates back to the Dark Elf Queen Olga. Monsters race living in the north of the continent. These dark creatures were deemed to be monsters by humans. Even amongst them, Olga, the Dark Elf Queen, possessed extremely powerful magic. Okay, that thing. Numerous monsters gather around her because of her overwhelming magic, forming the Black Keep. The humans formed the Seven Shield Alliance, yes, to resist the monsters based in the Black Keep. The Hag Elf, Celestine Lucross, was the person at the center of the Seven Shield Alliance. Celestine entrusted Volt with the mission of attacking the Black Keep. Volt was only an ordinary mercenary leader at the time. The Black Dog mercenaries led by Volt is said to have been a powerful force made up of both humans and monsters. Even though it was thought to have been impossible, Volt was successful in this task, but his true achievement only started there. That face, what the hell? After he beat the demon army, Volt raised a flag of rebellion against his employer Celestine. The army led by Volt took down the Seven Shield Alliance in the flash and defeated their messiah, Lady Celestine. A castle stands tall in the center of the depraved capital. Having returned from his hunt, a man walks straight down the corridor leading to the audience room where the owner of this castle sits. The report of the hunt should already been finished by one of his subordinates, but he was ordered to come directly by their king. Luca walks quickly behind him, looking at his back. There is no hesitation in his steps, the same as always, but Luca notes that the sounds of his footsteps are giving off a slight hint of irritation. But as his loyal subordinate, she just walks behind him without saying anything up toward. The two of them reach the large door shortly. He calls out to one of the guards, and the guard promptly opens the door. "Wait here, Roger." Luca takes a step back and salutes her command as she waits in the corridor. At his signal, the guard continues to open the large doors. Okay, so it skips. So, is Volt still alive then? Good work, General. Yes. Derek nods cheerfully to Luca. She has been waiting by the door the whole time. Our Empress was the same as always, huh? That woman will never change, yes. Our Empress. Derek just speaks the truth. Okay, but we cannot see. So I don't know if Volt is still alive or not because it says Empress. So I don't know, his vault was over there and you cannot see because of what can be happening in there. So I don't know, but at the same time it said 150 years ago, like does Vault was a human only if he got like some sort of magic to live more years. So I don't know, he probably died. I don't know. Because I think you need to play the uncensored version to understand more if Volt is alive, to understand who died after those years, from the humans like Celestine and something like that. So, at least for now. Okay, so they want to do something against the Empress because he says at least for now. Derek smiles slightly at the thoughts running through his mind. Yes, that's right. You are the only one who holds such power, but how long will that continue? The true holder of power will take the throne and turn the nation to the way it's supposed to be. Derek is laying the groundwork for that end. Before long, his work will bear fruit. At that time, Derek walks alongside Luca. He hears steps following behind him, breaking off his thoughts. He turns to meet them. Lord Derek Rondo, won't you give me a moment of your time? The female bishop from the audience room is the one called out to him. Eleonora Byrne is an influential noble, even in the nation. She works for the church now. The church is a religious organization composed of those that believe in the goddess Larentia. It holds a large amount of influence on Serenos north and west, where the nation is located. The church's original teachings were that the goddess Larentia sacrificed herself to save the people. She advocated for solemnity and selfless service. She voiced resistance to the current situation. It's not just that, she advocates her beliefs despite the pain to the upper members of the church and Ladomira. In another country it will be a logical and sound argument, but in the nation it is an aberrant thought. There are many who wish to alienate the poor bishop. However, Eleonora has strong support from her people, so there is merit in using her as a gas valve to deal with slight discontent. That is why she has not been removed from the church. Eleonora obeys her own ideals today as well. She speaks to Derek based on those beliefs. I heard that we have attacked other nations again. We have not, it's just an aspect of our economic activity suited for our nation. Derek's cold eyes meet her melancholic and critical gaze. It is necessary, so I did it. You should be admonishing our liege. I just dedicate myself to knightly duties. The acts you equate to plunder are merely orders from our hike. Oh my god. He's lying. He's being ordered to attack towns, but he isn't told to burn them to ash. There are many who have criticized him for doing too much. But for Derek, burning down the village is one piece of groundwork for his plan. Eleonora shouldn't know that fact. She speaks to him with a sincere look in her eyes. I'm requesting this of you. Derek's smile deepens and he strokes his chin. Despite just doing that, it's a brutal enough reaction to make even a big man flinch. Naturally, Eleonora is also taken aback, but she continues to speak through gritted teeth in order to not run away. At least, even if you are the only knight, wouldn't it be possible to stop this inappropriate plundering? However, I must also reward my subordinates for doing their jobs. Derek brings his face close to Eleonora's. Eleanor's shoulders are trembling beyond their control. A low laugh reaches her ears. Eleanor's expression stiffens at his mocking laughter. Her hands and feet get colders? There's an S in there, I don't know. Her heart begins to beat all the faster from fear and nervousness. But she looks up at him without averting her gaze. The oppressiveness coming off Derek suddenly goes away, possibly as a result of her action. Eleanor lets out a light breath and rubs her chest, but it cannot be said that her words are a joke. She feels bitter and frustrated. Derek smiles coldly as he speaks to Eleonora. I know you're kind as well, but if you stick your neck where it doesn't belong, it will no longer just be a joke. Is that a threat? It's just some advice. I also have kindness in my heart. Derek smiles as he speaks. He turns and walks away to indicate that the conversation is already over. Eleanor is stiff and consumed with fear for a few moments before she calls back out to him. Please wait, I still have... Derek doesn't turn around, let alone stop walking. However, he gives his subordinate a menacing glance. Derek and Common disappear from view. Eleanor's expression grows dark, and she sighs over her own powerlessness. Her whole body feels stiff and she shrinks from the unbelievable nervousness. She breathes deeply while holding her own body. Ah, Lady Eleonora, welcome home. Welcome home, Lady Eleonora. The slums are filled with thick, murky air. The children hug her and tug on her hands as thought asking her to listen to them. Eleonora smiles bitterly and pats the children on their heads. Of course, she doesn't forget to say a word to them. Well, children, you are still up. Shouldn't you be in bed at this time? That's what we have to tell you. We are not children any longer. Listen, listen, Lady Eleonora. This guy, don't say anything unnecessary. The children are noisy and surround Eleonora. Eleonora looks at them with a smile on her face. There isn't just the darkness of the night in the slum, but also the darkness of hopelessness and weakness hanging heavy in the air. However, that darkness is kept away only around Eleanor due to the warm light she seems to exude. Both adults and children gather around her because they are attracted by her light. Everybody is so shabby looking, but Eleanor's eyes are filled with mercy as she looks at them. They look back at her with respect in their eyes. Hey, Lady Eleonora, I'm hungry. Yes, I'm sorry, it has gotten late. Then everybody, shall I help you prepare dinner today? Yes, please. The children answer her with a lot of energy. Adults and the elderly smile and give out cheap food. Helena responds with a smile of her own and walks toward the church, leading the weak people. Lady Eleanor, thank you. It is thanks to you that we can somehow keep going. My power, what is important is belief in the goddess and the following of the faith. Yes, haha. Their late night worship ends, and she sees the people leaving church. Their expressions are even brighter than before they came here. It consoles Eleanor's heart. Thank you for today. Yes, thank you for coming as well. Another man comes to shake Eleanor's hand and express his gratitude. Eleanor gently grabs his hand with both of her hands before seeing him off. When she has seen off the final part, Eleanor clenches a scrap of paper, placing it into her hand. She looks around her and, after confirming nobody's around, opens the folded piece of paper. Her face stiffens in an instant, even thought it had been filled with such light until just a moment before. A wretched sigh escapes from her mouth. I didn't think this would be over. Eleanor looks to the sky, muttering sadly. The largest continent in this world is Serenus. Okay, so that does us a little skip, is it? It is ruled by Empress Ladomira. Recently, it has shown interest in several other countries. Ladomir is a tiefling, so she has incredible seductive powers. There are practically none that can resist her. The former world order has crumbled. The only way left is destruction. However, there are people in this world who will oppose her. The main force against the nation is the Holy Kingdom of Aurelia. The Holy Kingdom of Aurelia is often just called the Holy Kingdom. They have had great cultural and economic influence on the West, South, and East for a long time. The High Elf Celestine Lucrosse supported the church within the shadow of Holy Kingdom's prosperity. When the world was faced with danger, they turned to the legends of the High Elves about the goddess coming to save people in hardships. Celestine Lucrosse was believed to be the reincarnation of the goddess. She was thought to be one of the three ancient High Elves. The faith of the High Elves is different from that of the church now in the nation. It was held by Hal in the west. Because of that, the palace of that the High Elves slept in was treated as the holy capital by many nations and formed the center of the Holy Kingdom. The Holy Capital had huge walls and avoid all kinds of enemy assaults and impregnable fortress. This was the hub of all military, economic, and religious power in the West. An important meeting concerning the future of the West is being held in the capital of the Holy Kingdom, Erythra. Jesus, these names. Well, that girl was on the first one. The palace is filled with many guests now. Famous knights from various countries and city-states are there. But they are the leaders of countries and leaders of famous orders of knights. They are each judging whether or not the person that Irish calls are lower or higher than them with each name. One name that Irish calls out draws the largest amount of attention. The Dutch of the Principality of Fuxval, Lady Kohaku. Yes, a woman walks forward clad in clothes of the East. Such clothes are not seen in the West. They are grasps of admiration all through the hall. Her fluffy ears and soft tail draw great attention. She's a type of beastman called Foxfolk. The Foxfolk built a country called the Principality of Foxval to the west of the nation. There is a deep forest within the steep mountains there. It is a natural danger that prevents people from entering there. Although they have some interaction with others, they are mostly located deep in that thick forest in a land no human has stepped foot in. Kawak is the leader of that country. She greets Iris with elegant bow. Irish greets Kohak in return and reads out the next name. The Chemia Magician Guild next Grandmaster, Lady Astrid Flamel. Yes. She's adorned in a cape that signifies her as a magician and wields a staff. The haired woman walks forward. She wears a smile that expresses her self-confidence. She also draws a lot of attention. The staff in her hands is only entrusted to the greatest of magicians. It is evidence of her magnificence because of how young she is while wielding it. The Chemia Magician Guild has its own country made up of its members. It is a small nation composed of a single isolated town, but they have great influence over other nations. It will not be understatement to say that all the greatest magicians come from Chemia. They have the same strength as any other nation because of that. It has been decided that Astrid will take the role of the next Grandmaster. She keeps her chest puffed out to display her pride over that fact. Irish smiles and calls the next name. Representative of the Night Mercantile States of Tull, Lady Mel Mel. Here. But wasn't this from the first one? Wasn't Mel Mel or it was a different name? It looks almost the same. A young childlike voice rings out. It is unfitting for this collection of world leaders. The hall breaks into a slight uproar, but a small girl appears in front of Irish, and everyone nods acceptingly. The childlike person who has stepped forward is the halfling Mel Mel. A halfling retains the same height as a child even after they enter adulthood, but of course they grow mentally. The halflings also have shocking strength for their size and are known for their intricate handiwork. Their nimble hands are great for forging weapons and jewelry. A halfling merchant builds a vast fortune in 100 years, and Mel Mel is part of that lineage. Her family created the city of Ufra as a trade point between the east and the west. A vast fortune is accumulated there. They also develop and spread new technology for further economic development. Mel Mel is the daughter of its duke. She has great cunning in her small body. She looks up at Iris with a big smile. Iris smiles back and looks back out on the wide hall filled with influential people. Everybody, regardless of the urgency, I thank you for gathering here like this. Iris once again gives a greeting as the representative of her country despite her young age relative to the rest of the people in the hall. There are none here who thinks light of her. The leader of the Holy Kingdom has for generations been left to a High Elf Oracle, and as a knight to protect that High Elf, she is tasked with the protection of the kingdom. She is called the Princess General for her bravery in cutting down her enemies and her impeccable beauty. The one who leads this historic nation is this young girl because former leaders, her parents, died when she was young. She speaks with a sternness that is different from her earlier steady speech. For several years, we have watched the nation's tyranny. I think everybody can agree that we can't let their tyranny slide like this. Yes, it has been the case since the formation of that nation, but recently the damage they've caused has grown worse. It's the same for us. So many of our merchants have already been kidnapped. The only ones that have not received direct damage are Irish Holy Kingdom because of the physical distance from the nation Astrid's own because it is still loved by a magic barrier. No matter how you look at it, this is that Emperor's fault. Since that woman took the throne, the damage has been getting worse. Yes, and there is one more thing, we cannot ignore the existence of their skilled hunting parties. The Black Dog Knights, I've heard the rumors. Kawaku mutters bitterly. I've heard they follow in the line of the former mercenary king Volt. Okay, so there we go. So Volt looks like he's not alive anymore because she says former mercenary king Volt. So it looks like he died because a human and he didn't have like infinite life, so he died. But that Derek and the others could follow what he did. Alright. Although I don't have any more information than that, I sent out spies, but it's difficult to gather information. Your ninjas are also having difficulty. I've heard that much, but I also don't know anything more than that. There are those known as information gatherers in the West. They are halflings that act as mercenaries in every region. The other group are special spies used by the Fox folk as unknown as ninjas. They are led by Kohaku. However, Kohaku and Melmel cannot gather much about the man named Derek, but there are many besides these two that have information. I know a little bit more about him. He's a skilled fighter, but he has a strange standing within the nation. Maybe because the Empress is too familiar to the upper echelons of the military, he seems to hate her. Oh, you can say that so clearly. Oh, if that's true, I might be able to answer, but that is information I was not be able to obtain, so I wonder if it could be true. It's the truth. We received information from somebody who holds the same position as us, living in that awful capital by the name of Eleonora. Okay. Everyone faced out of watching belief upon hearing Irish's explanation. Eleanor is in more danger than anybody working as she is within that pit of snakes. To reward her, we must somehow win. Iris raised her hand in the air to show her determination. Everyone there nods their heads strongly. We must thank her for this information. Does that mean we must defeat both the Black Dog Knights and the Empress? That's right, but... Oh yeah, that Empress is really dangerous. Mamel pouts. Is it so much that even I can't oppose her? If it were a simple magic battle, you'll likely win, but she has overwhelming charm powers. I know that power can make one subservient even if you fight it with all your heart. Kowak's tone of the reality of the situation sounds Astrid. Iris' dignified voice breaks the harsh silence. But there is a way. We can defeat the nation of Anladomira. I want you all to see why I say that. Lady Serafina. Iris' assertion is strong. She looks into the empty air as she says it. Her strong reverence is clear. Suddenly, the visage of a person appears floating at an untouchable distance in the sky. What? This is... The two of them know right away that her image is somehow being transmitted through some kind of magic. More than that, they are shocked by her appearance. Even though it's being displayed, her radiant white skin and lustrous golden hair are clear. The subtle scent of the flower crown on her head seems to be transmitted as well. Could it be, is she the one living underneath the Holy Kingdom, the one said in legend to save the world from danger? Yes, that's right. Allow me to introduce her, the ancient High Elf, Lady Seraphina Gentoit. Seraphina Gentoit is the fourth person to inherit the legendary spirit of the goddess Larentia. In the past, Celestine Lucross is said to have used her predictive powers to advise her people in avoiding disasters. The legend is the High Elf in the Holy Kingdom has similar powers to rid the world of evil. However, her face is more than just a fairy tale. It is a face none has ever seen before. It is beyond legend. However, that legend is now making her appearance and confirming her reality. It is a pleasure to meet you all. Serafina gracefully bends her knee and greets everybody. A soft smile sits on her face. It is full of mercy, her voice is calm, and it is the tension in the hearts of those that hear it. However, there is sadness in both her eyes and voice. Everybody, as you know, the world is now in danger of being destroyed. That tiefling has too much power. She has thrown the balance of the world off. Everyone takes a deep breath as they gaze at Serafina. Serafina cuts off and slowly looks out at everybody's face. She puts her dainty fingers together slowly. Everyone, please lend me your strength. To preserve the order of the world, we must eradicate the tiefling's power. Please, somehow capture the tiefling. I will try to get rid of her power, somehow. Serafina sincerely closes her eyes and makes a humble request to all of the governmental representatives. The important people that fill the hall from each nation gaze only at Serafina, please. Iris raised her voice to settle the thoughts of everybody. We will crush the nation. We will win to bring peace and stability back to the world. Everybody in the hall yells out their vows of victory to Serafina. It is a rousing battle cry. Everyone boasted about each other's combat power with excited face, and some even let out a roar. Iris finally smiles at the zeal of the crowd. She is convinced of her victory. The people here aren't merely representatives of their countries, they are all suitable for the title of hero. Mamel has an artillery unit that she has invested in, researched and developed. Astrid has the power to create literally unkillable golems. Kohaku is the leader of a group of ninjas that have immense combat prowess. And the Holy Kingdom has an order of knights and the Irish command that are experts in their field. There are other orders of knights and kingdoms gathered here as well. Although the nation is powerful, it can't stand against such a massive force. The Age of Thunder, 1453 of the Dushian calendar in early spring. Winter has passed, small birds chirp at the beginning of spring. The Holy Alliance has been formed. Tell us this, Aladdin now? The Holy Kingdom has formed a Holy Alliance without our country. Idiots, fine, pull out. A fat man waves his hand like he's swatting a fly, and the man who was reported to him leaves respectfully. The king snorts in satisfaction as the door closes. Exactly. I was tell them not to stop our meeting over such trifling matters. I'm sorry, Miss Tiara, forgive me. He grasps Miss Tiara's hand and speaks reverently to her. Far from flirting with the king, she just glances coldly at him. Her friendliness is enough to make the king complacently happy. Alright, you don't need to worry about anything. You just need to stay by my side. I see. The Holy Kingdom is certainly a big country, Kimia. Dol and Fuchswald are also people that shouldn't be ignored. But what about the others? Isn't it just a bunch of small no-name countries? It's just a mob. They're all just going to get in one another's way. The Holy Alliance, it is meaningless without being able to invite me, the king of the kingdom of Eldonia. The king gazes at me with cold eyes and smiles. Of course there is nothing more important than you. No matter how much respect for you I show, would I leave you and go somewhere, Miss Tiara? The king's smile deepens and he pulls Miss Tiara's body even harder. I will protect you for the rest of time. Okay. Was he like charmed or something like that? Like she doesn't even talk? Hey, did you hear about the rumor of the Holy Alliance? Yes, they have declared war. They tend to attack us. What fools. No, we should be thanking them, shouldn't we? This is our chance. You went wrong. Ha 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 ha. The soldiers make their rounds while expressing interest in the rumors. Eleanor stops after seeing off the swords and takes a deep sigh. The war hungry are making noise already within the nation. The chance for war to break out is increasing. If that happens, ordinary people will suffer. Eleanor feels a pain in her chest just thinking about it. But she can't be sad. She has to think about what she should do now to prepare for the damage. Eleanor's thoughts run rapidly through her mind while walking to the palace in the nation. She was told by a spy from Irish to get out of the country. But when she thinks about the innocent people, she shouldn't be allowed to choose whether or not to follow Irish's wish and leave alone or not. Alright, we all prepare, right? Yes, as you commanded. Derek nods his head lightly at Lucas' words and looks out over the guardhouse. You, listen well. His voice isn't that loud, but it reached every corner of the guardhouse. The thuggish man waited anxious on Derek's words. Luca, of course, stands by Derek with a stiff expression. The nation's Sixth Guard, otherwise known as the Black Dog Knights. The armies of the nation are filled with many ruffians, but even amongst all the armies, the regiment led by Derek is on another level. Some of the members are dark ones, in other words, monsters. Derek has no bias against them. He employs those that have talent and promotes them based on their performance regardless of their race. Humans who have fallen out of society and monsters who are hated by society. Derek views soldiers with a quirk or two as important members of his team. The thing that allows this to be possible is Derek's strength to fell even an ogre, his cunning to not be caught up by common sense, and his generous disposition to spare no rewards. The time has finally come for us to achieve our aims. It is war. War, the war creates an uproar in the guardhouse. Of course, there is not even a hint of fear or unease on the soldiers' face. They are filled with joy at the opportunity they have been waiting for has finally arrived. Keh, it was worth spreading those embers all over. My allies, we no longer need to wait. Master, then does it seem like this is going to be a big fight? Of course, it will be of a scale unseen. You're going to go on a huge rampage. Haha, you are telling us to show you what it should be what we got. Right? It should be like that. Look how he bares his fangs as he laughs. His steel-like muscles flex as they can't wait any longer. Inspired by Lucaon, the other soldiers in the guardhouse quickly raise their morale. A single man moves through the soldiers toward Derek. General, are those from Kimia also going to be our enemies? Yes, that's right. Nicola, you are looking forward to it, right? Ha 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 ha. He's an ugly man clad in a robe. He looks much shabbier than the rest of the well-built soldiers in Derek's regiment. He's different from Luca, who is small but muscular. Nicole is just as weak as he looks, but isn't taken lightly within their group because his strength has nothing to do with his muscles. The staff in his hand and the sigil inscribed on his arm show that he isn't a magician. Nicole is bitterly resentful of the place where he studied magic because they scorned him. Excitement for the war increased within the guardhouse. General Derek, the time has come at last. Finally, we will be able to invite Lady Serafina before my god, right? There is a man dressed in a monk's garb who stands out even more than Nicola. He is Raymond Lulus. He was a priest of the Holy Kingdom, but he was chased out for his belief in a wicked god. He needs Serafina for that god he believes in. Yes, don't slack on your preparations, of course. Derek nods and looks out over the guardhouse. Well, everybody, we are going to be busy now. There are still things that need to be done to spread this war to its maximum. Luca, inform our collaborators in all the various lands. Yes, sir. Luca salutes before leaving. The soldiers were in an uproar, but at Derek's signal, they take proper form and face Derek again. Alright, don't be careless. The soldiers shake the guardhouse with their intense response to Derek's declaration. Derek nods in satisfaction at them. So his plan is coming out. Okay. The Age of Thunder, 1453, of the Dulcian calendar in spring. Irish Arcade Holy Alliance has launched its full-on assault on the nation. The border battles ended in victory for the Allied army. The nations of the Holy Alliance have long suffered from the tyranny of the nation. The time for the revenge has finally come. Morale in the Allied army is high, and their soldiers are well trained for this decisive battle. The national army of the nation has only spent the last several years looting around their borders. They have an advantage in terms of numbers, but their soldiers cannot compare to the Allied force in morale, training, or control. The border defenses are crushed one after another without being able to fight against the well-prepared tactics of the Allied force. The army of the nation faces defeat after defeat at the avalanche of strikes from the Allied force. The Allied force continue to strike as they head past the border of the nation. The aim of the Allied force is to crush the capital of the nation. Their final goal is to dissolve the nation and rid the world of the root of evil, Empress Ladomira, forever. The advisors who left the audience room are about to gather for a strategy meeting. The general circled the map spread on the table. Everyone's here. We'll go back over the current situation. A general clad in showy armor speaks in an arrogant tone. Ladomir directly assigned him as the lead general for this war, but even as a well-worn general, he isn't necessarily so skilled as to be able to do anything. Ladomir merely likes him. It's not just him. Many of the generals here are just those that the Empress likes for various reasons. The generals that had the heart to admonish Ladomir have all long since met with unfortunate fates. Derek peers at the map from over their heads. Derek is only in charge of one regiment of knights. He's lucky enough to have the privilege of being on the strategy meeting. Even if he is present at the meeting, he doesn't really have the right to speak. The meeting continues before Derek's distant gaze. First, let's check out the situation. Our foe has so boldly named themselves the Holy Alliance, but their strength is primarily just from 4 nations. The lead general points at the map. The Holy Kingdom of Aurelia, the United Mercantile States of Dol, the Chimia Mage Guild, and the Principality of Foxvald. Their united strength is much greater than that of the nation, but they don't have near the numbers that the nation does. The nation's overwhelming weak point is its supply lines. Thinking about the climate, there is a high chance that the Allied armies will retreat if the nation's long winter rolls in. There is no way that Ladomira will wait that long, so the nation also doesn't have time to wait. They wish for a vast and overwhelming victory. These hooligans that have invaded our country's borders are currently headed toward the capital. In that case here, in Western Eos, we will fight them in the Canpeace plains. The lead general pounds the table hard as he makes his declaration. He also of agreement rises up from the other generals. Derek gazed at the situation with cold eyes. It would take 5 days to get to the plains from the capital by horse. If they were to head out right away, they would certainly meet the allied army. However, is it necessary to attack such a large army with one's own large army? Moreover, the enemy is proficient at battling on flat ground. This war is certainly in the favor of their opponent. There is no point in such a large country fighting fair and square. Of course, Derek gives no sign of such thoughts. He remains silent and watched over the meeting as he suits his appearance. The early stage of the wars have been repeated feats, but these merely due to the suddenness of their attack. We are the famous Imperial Army of Nigmerstia. We are the inherites of the mercenary King Volt. We have never known defeat. Our overwhelming power will crush the rebels calling itself the Holy Alliance. Oh, we will win for Lady Ladomira. We will win. Just as Eric thought, they can't even form a real strategy. The generals are just raising their fists in excitement. The generals left the audience with their armor clunking, thinking that they must quickly make preparations, but they are already smiling triumphantly. When Derek finally lets out his own laughter at their incompetence, the lead general walks up to him. Derek, I'll leave the protection of Lady Ladomira to you. There is no task more important. Consider it an honor. Understood. I'm greatly honored. Thank you. Do your best to not let your faint pride put Lady Ladomira into a bad mood. The lead general smirks cynically at Derek. Derek knows all too well that it is just childlike harassment. The mercenary King Volt founded this nation with monsters. Many monsters have existed in this country since then, but only Derek cools them in his regiment these days. Many generals are concerned with physical appearance and don't like the look of monsters, and only a few humans are capable of controlling the wildness of monsters. It is one aspect that displeases the lead general. Of course, the biggest is that Ladomir is appreciative of Derek. That is why he has pushed him into a position where he can gain no further recognition. But Derek wants to be placed away from the rest of the main army with their stupid strategy. At last, everything is going just as I wanted it. Derek finds it unbearably strange himself. He's afraid that things are continuing just as planned. That's why he can't be negligent now. Derek pretends to be the best of his ability to speak respect and salutes the lead general. I pray for your success in battle. He glares suspicious at Derek, but he leaves without saying anything, exiting the meeting room. Derek also returns to the guardhouse where his own subordinates are waiting, a little late. The nation's army launched a counterattack against the Holy Alliance, which has breached their borders. The nation's army met the Holy Alliance army on the plains as planned. The Holy Alliance army is determined to make this decisive battle. They take a dignified formation as they plan to crush the nation. There are more than 20,000 soldiers on each side. This rare battle is the largest in history. Yeah! At Melmel's shout, a line of artillery fires. An ear-splitting sound echoes out. After a short interval, explosions come one after another with each thundering blast. Aha! What's that? It's the might of my artillery. Melmel brings out the biggest success for the Allied army. She straddles one of her pieces of artillery and laughs arrogantly. Of course, there is no intention of letting it end here. Keep shooting, we got bullets for days. Alright, prepare the next round. Oh! Her halfling subordinates are busy loading another round. Artillery and ammunition are really expensive. Only the United Mercantile States of Dole have enough money to acquire this much artillery and ammunition. Are we prepared? Let's litter the field with holes. Yeah! Explosions tear through the air, shaking the ground with hellfire. The nation's formation is blown apart by the continuous artillery strikes. Mamel smiles and gives her next order. Alright, how about that? Then, mercenaries, I'll leave it to you. The mercenaries have been gathered together for money. Their brutality is similar to that of the nation's army. They come down on the nation's army like an avalanche. The nation's army has been torn apart by the artillery. They have no room to push back against the oncoming attack. Those economic power compensates for their lack of military power, and they supply ample weapons for the Holy Alliance. The nation's border defeats continue, and they are forced into a tough position in this important battle. But perhaps because of their loyalty to Ladomira or because of their fear, they continue to fight. They're more persistent than I thought. Yes, I thought we will be able to push to the capital in one go, but it seems like it isn't going to be that easy. Iris and Astrid have received reports on the battle situation from a message. The right flank has been pushed back somewhat by artillery. Aside from that, both sides are lacking a decisive position. Professor, we are all prepared. Three girls wave at Astrid as they run over to her. Astrid has brought her pupils from Kimia. Astrid has an uncomfortable face at their innocent behavior before a noble like Irish, but Iris looks at the young girls with favorable eyes. Ha, your pupils are always so energetic, Astrid? I'm sorry, I'll make sure to teach them some more manners. Astrid apologizes with a bitter smile. One of the girls nearly jumps at Astrid. Prof, we all set up, let's go quickly. You mean that's been prepared? Yeah, we were told to get it ready to go right away, so it's all ready. Hey, Bibi, you should be saying yes, ma'am. Huh? Why are you so mad today, Isabella? Because Lady Iris is here. Amy, tell her. I'm really sorry. Iris smiles as she watches this rarely seen sight of high energy around her. As she sighs and her mood changes, she cracks her knuckles. Alright, girls, we are going off to Beta now, you know? If you think this is going to be a picnic, you should just stay here, okay? Yes, ma'am. Leave it to us. How is that response going to tell Lady Astrid that you understand this is serious? I'm being completely serious, you know. Hey, Amy. Her three pupils are bouncing around again. Astrid throws lightning at them. Cut it out. We have no time for this nonsense at this point. I'm sorry. Astrid sighs at Bibi's reflexive apology and turns back towards Iris. I'm sorry for all the noise. I'll make up for it with results in the war. Yes, show me the power of your unbeatable golems. Look forward to it. Astrid smiles, confident at Iris. Well, girls, let's go. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. After Iris shows them a final smile, Astrid leaves with her three girls. I order told there as thy creator, metal giant rise, crush my foe with your indomitable fists. Her three pupils line up alongside her, and each start to chant a spell. The tips of the staves in each of their hands begin to emit light. Astrid and Comrie have their staves held aloft. They swing the tips at the golem. Light in the giant eyes pulsate in the corners, and a howl billows out of a giant. Well, go. I'll show you the power of Kimia. Yes, prof. Amy, don't dally. Yeah. Jesus. Four giants march off with the one that Astrid rides taking the lead. The ground creaks and the skies shake with each step of the giants. Shit, they finally come, the magic golems! They are 2 to 3 times the size of a human. The nation's army screams at their metallic advance. But they do not run away, trying to keep the metal golems at bay with bows. But the golems can't feel pain, so their bows are ineffective. At the current range, they can't even scuff their carapace. They aim for the mage riding there, but the golems swat away the arrows. The distance between them is shortening. The soldiers of the nation scream a desperate battle cry as they charge toward the metal golems. I'm sorry, but I can show you no mercy. With Astrid muttering, the golem swings his fist, moving them down. In a single blow, several soldiers are blown away. The battle formation of the nation army has been crushed by the overwhelming power. Well, let's crush them in one go, as we focus on the main force of the army. The golem blows at its created station. How the hell you can defeat that? At the same time, understood, I'll convey that to the commander. Lucas says that in response to the report from the messenger, she quickly decides to go to Derek. Recently, Derek has often been in training barracks. Although he has been put on guard duty, he's always been a hot-blooded man. He can't stop his blood from boiling with a war happening so close to him. The following day. Okay. The Allies won first battle on the Canpeace plains. The army of the nation launched a counterattack to get back what they lost, but Mel's artillery and Astrid golems completely crushed them. But the day after that defeat, the nation army launched a full frontal counterattack. It is a throughout offensive that doesn't care about sacrifice, that can be taken as reckless or ravage. Overturning their lack of quality, they used their numbers to push back the allied forces despite building a mountain of corpses with their allies. In addition, one of the few excellent nation generals commands the front line to attack full force to create a guise of only having brute force in order to cleverly conceal a flank of the allied force. I got a message. The Dole army has been forced to retreat. Lady has said that the Golem army has been dealt great damage. She has called off her attack tentatively. Understood. Good work. You can retreat. Iris' face is not perturbed despite knowing that her allies are having a hard time. She gazes out at the entire battlefield with her sharp eyes. Iris blows out a battle cry to push the souls of her army into one. According to the match report, the allied army's battle formation falling into disarray will continue to lead to a greater disadvantage. If Irish judgment is mistaken here, the allied armies will shriek out in pain. Irish grinds her teeth as thought trying to endure something. She gazed sharply at the battlefield. You need not be tense, the trap is going well. Sorry, thank you. Iris loosens her clenched fist and smiles back at Kohaku. Kohaku nods back. She gazes at the battlefield standing next to Iris. What I know of the Amish movement has been communicated to each regiment. How natural for a ninja. I'm very happy that you are all ally. Even if you praise me like that, I can do nothing more than I have, you know? You already done more than enough. Even if they can grasp the movement of their foes quickly on the battlefield, they will be able to take an advantage response. Kawaku's ninjas allow for that possibility. Her ninjas are a regiment made up of only human. They are both powerful and agile. They are elite warriors that are skilled at spy work. Irish believes what Kohaku says and waits for that time to come. A loud roar shakes the land, showing the nation army recklessness, and the time has finally come. A battle cry rings out from the top of a small hill to the right. More than 1,000 enemies are separated from the front lines to attack the main army that Iris is in. Hey, they finally arrived. Ha! Iris grabs a sword hanging on her hips to suppress her battle nerves. She turns back to her subordinates behind her. Everybody, we will crush the nation army now. It is time to show this world justice. It is no exaggeration to say that now is the time to determine whether or not we can end the nation's tyranny and save the world. We must fight together. Irish rides fiercely on her horse and attacks the nation's army. The elite soldiers under Irish control are known in the Holy Kingdom as the Holy Knights. The intended surprise attack ended up just falling right into the Allied army's trap. They strike at the enemy battalion with their full force. The nation meant to take the Allied army off guard, but on the signal of their emergence, the Allied army surrounds the nation in a single go. Asteroid golems should have undergone severe damage, but they appear here for an attack. The nation's entire army has been cornered like a rat in an instant. This is so fucking idiotic. My army should have finally had its victory. Why are we being defeated here? Your Excellency, get out of here. We can't keep going. I promised to give victory for Lady Ladomira. Can I dare to run away after all that happened? The main force of the nation army has gotten chaotic. The sound of thundering hooves started again. After the mounted soldiers led by Irish crushed the routing faction of the nation army, they pierced through their main army like a single spear. Idiot, this can't be. How could this happen? Prepare yourself. Irish sword slashed down the enemy general from atop her horse. Her knights completely teared through the enemy main army. The nation army has no means to fight against the might of the allied army. The nation army is completely decimated. That night. Oh, so this is Ladomir? Goddamn. Alright, we lost. That's too bad. The large army that had been so confident is almost completely destroyed. After Ladomir receives a report from a pale knight about the collapse and covered in blood, she just smiles at him with no sense of anger. Her gentle smile unnerves the senior retainers lined up in the audience room. However, their appearance has changed considerably from last time. Of course, it is because many have died from this defeat. Ladomir is indifferent to this change and just asks the question that comes to mind. So, what do you intend to do from here? There is nobody who can answer that question. Nearly everybody looks down as though asking to not be forced to answer. Ladomir's smile deepens at this sight. I don't know much about war, but isn't there still things that can be done now? We can hold up in the castle and wait for the enemy to retreat, or we can launch an attack to crush them. Am I wrong? No. The unfortunate journalist she is direct speaking to desperately struggles to give a deceptive answer. Ladomir's words are not wrong, but the problem is that neither option is a path to victory. Holding up in the castle has no meaning unless you have reinforcements coming or the enemy is under time constraints, and there's no way they can crush the allied force. What's the matter? Does nobody have an answer? Ladomir looks at the generals standing around, but they all look down to avoid their gaze. There is a sole man that Ladomir's gaze lands on. Ladomir speaks to him with a happy smile on her face. Derek, of course. Derek, what about you? Do you have some sort of plan? Ladomir returns her gaze to Derek, as thought she's already forgotten about the previous man. Good, Derek. If you have a plan, I'll leave it to you. Do a good job. My liege. The generals are roused by Ladomir's casual words. It's natural. If Derek was not from the nation, he would be nothing more than a captain. Ladomir entrusts command of the army to Derek. But Ladomir and Derek don't allow their voice to enter their ears. I will start to bring victory to you, my liege. Good, I look forward to it, Derek. Still ignoring Derek class generals and his plans still not unveiled, Derek leaves with all rights entrusted to him. The general doesn't dare openly object in front of Ladomir, but their opposition to Derek is clear. With this, the defense of the capital will be unreliable. But Derek quickly leaves the audience room without showing any concern. Ladomir calls out to him as thought she suddenly thought of something. Ah yes, Derek, I will aid you just a little in your work. And what you suggest? Ha, it's something secret, but you can expect it when a good moment comes. I thank you for your support. Derek gazes at Ladomir wondering if she has been seen through his plot for just a moment, but he then takes a knee to express his gratitude like a good subject. The fate of the nation has been entrusted to Derek. Okay. Oh, and it ends in here, okay. See, this is the problem, like, I understand that this is the censored version, you cannot see what happened, if there is more or not. Like, the first one was 30 minutes, but people say that there is more than that. You know, so... the first one is like 1 hour long, but it's like, okay, so basically Derek has a plan, right? And I don't know if the plan is that it involves this to get Ladomiria to say that he is now in front of the army. I don't know if it involves that or not, but it looks like there is more than that to get the trust of Ladomira. So I wonder if there is more than that, right? Probably there is, where he then can use his monsters and his army to go and face the allied force, probably. But does he want to do something against Ladomira too? I wonder, because like Volt is not alive, and it's like it's a woman that's in front of that nation, right? When it should, like, it was Volt that should be in front, right? But how is this woman in front? I don't know if you need to play the uncensored version to get the explanation why she's in front, how Ladomir is in front of that nation. Of course, it says that she has that charm power. It could be like that she went to the front of the nation, like the queen. But and this Derek, it looks like much as Volt. So I don't know very well how the story goes, how all of this happens. But it looks like it passed 150 years after Vault. So it's like the story is cool. The art style of the characters is cool too. But to know more about story, to see everything, you need to download the patch, the ancestor patch from Shirofone website. To download, it's the same thing as the other games for Shirofone. You go to the Shirofone website, select the game, right? There is a lot of them in there. You select the game that you want, and then it appears like a description of the game, and on the right it says Steam, and it appears a website called Joran. You go to Joran website, and in there is the uncensored version, and it says Steam. And you can download that for free. It's free, of course. You do not need to pay for that patch. It's free, and then you apply the patch, and you get all the content for the game. Like that, more about story. You have the scenes that cannot appear in the Steam version. You don't have that black bars to cover some parts of the woman. So if you want to see all of that, you need the uncensored patch. But overall, pretty cool. So, hope you guys enjoy here Kuroinu 2 Redux. I wonder if there's a third one or not. I don't know. There's people that know more than me from this franchise. But if you are a fan of Kuroinu, if you like visual novels, you can buy the game on Steam. It's already available. And then if you want the uncensored version, you need to get the patch from. You need to go to the Shirofone website, and then choose the game that you want, and go to Shardon website to get that uncensored patch that is for free. So hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Bye.